Yeah. Now since I'm recording, so let me just start. The option of say flows, I would have the option of say Epic LWC component. So did I go with say flow, or why did I go with the custom LWC component? You have to ask yourself.
Mhm.
Unless you ask yourself and you do means this is the basic. This is like a basic algorithmic approach. When
Got
you're
it.
doing means you're asked to do any particular thing, you can ask yourself means you can ask your architects or your senior folks in the team, like why is it like there were multiple options, why did we go with that? It might happen like in some situations, your immediate team lead or immediate senior might not have that answer. Then in that scenarios you will have to go to talk to your architects as well, because they are expected to know like why are we going with that particular solution, because there are some decision guides based on which
Mhm.
these things are run. And for all the people out there who are hearing us, so in Salesforce, we have like architects.salesforce.com, where it provides us like a decision guide, like what are the different, for which particular requirement, what is the solutions that are available, and what are the things you have to consider while doing any particular requirement. Like say it is like about an integration. So if it is from Salesforce to external sales systems, these are the capabilities. For external system to Salesforce, these are the capabilities that are available. So like this, that would be your thought process, I would say. And I think many of the people might have this question, means what you just asked. So to help with that, I would have those links pasted in our WhatsApp groups. I hope. So any other questions anybody want to ask, or can I see all of you are on mute? So can someone acknowledge like whether you would want me to ask a specific means anyone wants to take an interview, or I can just go with some of the basic interview questions that we have and the introduction that you would have to give uh, while you are being interviewed. Can someone please acknowledge? Yeah, since Aman, you asked about like how our basic introduction should be there. So what should be your first thing is you have to just mention your name, like my name is this is this. I'm currently working at a particular XYZ at a particular position, like say Salesforce, as a Salesforce developer. Then you can talk about like total how many years of experience you have. Then next part comes in is your credentials. Credentials, I mean, like suppose you have done 4 or 5 certifications, you can talk about that. Like I am 4x certified, which includes say Sales Cloud, Service Cloud, Experience Cloud, or advanced admin kind of. And then the next line that you have to say is like my area of expertise includes like say LWC flows, declarative programming, uh, programmatic programming, and managing the roles. So this is the way you have to talk about. And the next line immediately, don't wait, like don't just stop here. Ask the panel, like since means can I, if you allow me, can I talk about the latest project which I worked on? Panel would hardly means almost never refuse when you talk about your projects, because that is the most important thing that any panel wants to hear about. So what you do is like you start explaining the things. Like here, while doing the explanation, to you have what you have to consider is first thing you have to tell them like what problem actually you are trying to solve. Like suppose you built a portal for that particular client. You have to tell them like we did this implementation because we wanted like case deflection to happen. So for those who don't know about case deflection is like that case is not actually going to assign to a case, to a particular person. It's like a person is able to help, means a customer is able to help themselves, and that case gets resolved, or that case is being avoided. There's no specific requirement to for an agent to do a call. So like that, and at the same time, you have to talk about like since I was just explaining you with respect to taking an example of a community, then you have to talk about like in the community we use the customer community license because we didn't have the specific requirement for reports and dashboard, and we wanted only access on some particular things. So like that, you have to give both the business. First is your business context, and second at the same, and in the second line, you have to tell about the technical aspects for that same. Then you can have to talk about like from the sharing perspective, like say sharing since to manage the security in community customer community, we have the sharing sets in place where we have the account or contact lookup of that particular object which is matched against the current user's account or contact, and this is applicable only if the OWD is private for that object or it is public read. So if this is the way you explain, then the panel is convinced because whatever technically he wanted to ask you, that is covered as a part of a technical detail in that project itself. Now there's very little scope for panel to ask you some questions which you're not comfortable about, because whichever with any interview take, you would have to have the complete clarity for at least one project, end to end, from the business perspective as well as from the technical perspective.
Expecting from us.
Yeah, that is the most important part, because normally what people do is like they just give them introduction and let the panel take over. So what you have to do in that scenario is that you have to control the situation. You have to talk about things that you're comfortable upon. Although after that, the project introduction means whenever you would have completed the project details, he would again be asking you some technical questions like, now tell me about like say future methods. So what is the use case for a future method? Like why you should be using future method and not queueable? So this is the kind of some questions that might be coming up.
Got it. Yeah, I think that's it from pretty much from my.
John, you are silent from the very beginning of the meeting. Do you want to ask anything, or you want to just be a passive listener?
Hello.
Yeah.
Can you able to hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Actually, I have one question.
Okay.
Actually, I'm having 2 years experience in Salesforce. Currently, I am looking for job. Actually, many of the interviews they are asking question to do coding in live, but they are giving 2 minutes time. How we need to ask the interviewer to regarding the time? That's the thing I'm having doubt.
Okay, basically what you are
Hello.
saying is means how many years of experience you have?
2 years of experience.
Okay. See, if they're asking you to code, tell them like first thing what their thought process would be.
Actually, they are giving some scenario.
Yes, I
like
know
the
they would be
things.
giving you scenarios definitely. And like suppose like if how do you create a roll up custom roll up somebody for contact on the contact object. Sorry, on the account object to calculate
Yes,
number of calculate number of contacts. Like that, they might ask you to write the code, right? And the problem that you have is like that code, but that code is taking more time for you. Means you're taking too much time to code that, and the panel is not happy with that. Correct? John, you're on mute.
No. Hello.
Yeah.
Actually, that's the thing I'm having doubt. Actually, that's the thing I have doubt. Hello.
Yeah, basically you don't know to code, or is it like you know to code that, but it is taking so much time, or you're having problem with
I
syntax.
know the code, but it is taking time.
So what you have
Hello.
to do, so what would be my take on that is, write only the core important code, or you just tell them the pseudo code like in 2 minutes I would be able to give you pseudo code for that. the actual code, or you instead of writing it, you can say it verbally, right? I think saying verbally would be much easy for you, right?
Yes, yes.
So in the such scenarios, you can tell them like, this is the pseudocode I have, and programmatic means I can write that entire line by line code, but it would take time. So is it fine? Like I can say that code verbally, or I can just put in some important lines only, because these things would happen.
Okay,
Even
okay.
sometimes such scenarios, some companies would even ask you to create an LWC component. But to be fair, is it like doable? No, because in syntaxes you can't remember all the time. What you have to be focused upon is your concepts. Like you should know like what to use when.
Okay.
So that's the way I look at it.
Okay. Yes, this is the one question I didn't. I am having. Hello.
Yeah. I'm. It's yeah. I'm able to hear you clearly, Tom.
Okay, okay. Thank you. Thanks for the great explanation.
Okay, not a problem.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, so Pooja, I was saying like since if you are currently in the QA kind of automation engineer, then the first migration should be from QA role to kind of business analyst role. And since you already have a knowledge on Salesforce basic, like you already have the associate certificate, my recommendation would be like you should have to means you should target instead of a developer completely. First, you have to transition it to a kind of a BA kind of role, Salesforce business analyst, where you are able to tell the business like this is achievable or this is not achievable. For this, the code will be required, and for this, it is declaratively available.
Okay. But directly,
It will be tough. I am the reason I'm saying is like whatever things that I asked you, based on that, that's what I felt. So
oh,
although you might not like it, but I have to be means it's like a means that's the reason. Like
no, definitely. I want to
so
hear truth only. Yeah.
yeah, so that's
Honest.
the way I look at it. If
Okay.
you had suppose a background of like oops and all
Yeah,
like
I
very
have
strong,
background of.
or and you were able to understand the code at least. If you're not able to code, I'm okay with that. But if it is written and you're able to understand or
Mhm.
think through those lines, then my means I would say like with a little extra effort, you would be able to transition it very smoothly. But here for you, the transition could be you will have to first or even now you can do that, but you will have to spend too much time. Like you have to be very clear with your apex means the first solid principle. Second is like how the different functions like in Salesforce apex, like how the object oriented programming is being implemented, how the interfaces are therein, and
Okay.
how to be extend and all. So those things you will have to grasp first.
Okay. Actually, like oops concept I already did in Python. Okay. And what I'm thinking, like I'm currently in TCS, so I'm
You can
thinking to
do it
migrate
side by.
Mm. Side by I'm already started. It's been few months. So what I'm thinking, like after acquiring one or two more certification internally, I can switch to Salesforce project, and for a mm, lower if there is a what I heard from other people, like if you're going, if your band is not C3 like that, so it will be easy for you to get into the Salesforce project. It won't be hard. So
Yeah,
that is my thought. Like internally, if I get a chance to work on Salesforce project, and after spending 1 or 2 years, I can be
I
switch to
would
another company if I want to, right?
actually in TCS there's another digital skill also. They have some test on that, which helps you
Uh,
to migrate to another technology. I was in TCS earlier, like I know Kunal
uh,
Bhagat.
uh, um, that I'm not sure. There are
You
an
can talk with
IO.
your RMG. They would be able to help you out. Or initially, you can ask the team, means your RMG, like to help you, means for shadowing
Firstly,
for
they
a
will
few
ask.
people.
Firstly, they will ask first you take release from your current project, and then we can help you out. I think that will be because many people have faced the same. So what I thought, like once I am confident, I can go to my manager and I can ask them that I want to switch to Salesforce project, not what I'm doing currently.
Or there's another option that you have, although which
Okay.
is not ethically right. But
Mm-hmm.
that you can prepare yourself for like Salesforce Apex in
Yeah.
the background, and then
Mm-hmm.
while giving the interviews, you tell them like you have only 1 year of experience in Salesforce,
Mm-hmm.
and then you would get a job according to that. And with 1 year of experience, neither you would be asked to having people would be having too much expectations from you, and you would
Mm-hmm.
be learning as well. But the only
Mm-hmm.
drawback of this approach would be like from the salary perspective, you won't get that much hike since you
Yeah.
would be kind of getting cross skilled by the other company.
Yeah, actually, I have few reference. So they just ask me that just get into this and start learning, prepare for the interview, do some projects here or there, learn it. Just spend 6 months thoroughly a good understanding, and you will be they can easily refer me. Rao also they can refer, but the thing is, I'm not that much prepared. So my work is I just need to be prepared. So I'll be trying on that only. So.
I would say like first you have to
Mm.
first think whatever you are doing in your thought process should always be like why I'm doing that, what is the need, and is
Mhm,
there any other option like if I don't learn this, what other thing means, like suppose from the sales perspective we are talking about say Apex, why we are doing
mhm.
learning Apex, just ask yourself this question, is if
Okay,
it is a declarative program available, why I'm going with Apex.
okay,
If suppose I'm going with flows, why am I going with flows? Like if there's an option of writing Apex class, why I'm writing flows. That simple answer would be like I'm going with flows because that is much quicker to implement compared to Apex because I have to write to test cases, and from the declarative means from the maintainability perspective, like whenever this function is migrated to the client, there's it would be quite easy for the internal stuff to manage that to have the future customizations in place. And suppose
okay,
if the question is reversed, like why are we going with Apex instead of a flow, then you would have to say like if the since the requirement is very much complicated, and then understanding that logic in the flow might be too much difficult, so we are going with Apex. Or with the flows, the you don't have a direct option of doing that. It would be too much complex processing that needs to done to have for that particular function. I mean, too much complexity is therein. So we are going with Apex for this particular scenario. So you should have an answer from your inner self, like why we're doing a particular thing, and
okay.
then also your entire learning should be use case based. Like for a particular requirement in Salesforce, there's like thousands of options that are available.
Yeah,
For which you scenario, what should be your take on that? Think on that lines, and then it would be much more clear from you to and help you progress in your future careers.
okay. So, one more question. So, this is the first time I joined this meeting. So, what is the purpose of the meeting and what like we can expect and what we can ask here? So, I'm not sure on that. So, I just want to know.
This group is basically for mock interviews and resume related tips, and also
Okay,
it's a little bit on the interview preparation as well. And
okay,
and in this call, it's mostly focused around like the interview questions, like or anybody
okay,
has wants to share their interview experience, we can go ahead with that as well. Like if there are some questions that were asked to you, but you were not able to figure it out, so we discuss
okay,
those in this call.
okay. That's great.
And in the WhatsApp groups, like I entertain all kind of content related to Salesforce.
Yeah,
Uh,
I have read it. Like few articles and the way you
if there's
share the post.
some job opportunities also I
Yes.
welcome, because the overall objective that I have in mind is like to help the people get jobs. So
Yeah,
that's
that
the
is
way.
very
That's the
nice.
that's the that's the way I look at it.
Yeah, that is very good initiative, Ankit. Thank you so much for your guidance. I'll definitely like I'll do that and I'll be continuing doing that. And yeah, thank you so much, Ankit.
Okay, welcome. Just remember like use case based learning.
Okay, sure. I'll keep that in my mind.
Yeah. Hi, Sai. Hi, Sachin. Uh, would you like to means can you talk any specific questions you have for me or you want to discuss any specific interview questions? Or else like I have few questions that I would like to discuss here with you.
Yeah, hi Ankit, Sai here.
Yeah, hi.
Yeah, I'm just getting started with Salesforce, Ankit. So I do want to know like how do the deployment things happen in Salesforce? Like we are writing the Apex code, right? So how do we usually use to deploy it? Is that totally on change sets or do we use anything? If
See,
we are doing that, yeah.
so there are various ways of doing that. First way is like to the VS Code, like when you're connected to the org, you have that option in the VS Code deployed to this org. So that's one way of doing that. Second is in the developer console, whenever you are saving a deployment happens in the background. Third way that is happening is to the workbench. Like you have that code in your repository and then you retrieve it through the metadata API and then you create a zip and then you get it deployed. Another way of doing that is through the chain set. The change problem with chain set is like it's only with the connected orgs.
Okay.
And the main problem is like your source of truth would remain the org. And in the org, you know, like many people, if they're working parallelly, it can result in problems. So overall, what Salesforce recommends is like you have the metadata means the source control as the like GitHub or Bitbucket as your source control, where or the repository where you maintain that code should be your source of truth. And then based on that, you can take that code, get that deployed using Workbench, or you can go with now like there's a additional capability of DevOps Center, Salesforce DevOps Center as well, which works similar to Copado. Another way that we have is like unlock packages. First generation, second generation packages are also available. And then manage package is another way of migrating the code. So there are various ways that we have it, but typically in practice, like mostly companies tend to use unmanaged packages. So they deploy it you mostly using the workbench or chainset or through Copado. Copado or there are some other VS Code or something like that. But they don't go with packages like first generation, second generation, or unlocked packages.
Okay, Ankit, thanks. For the Copado, is there any article or any video in YouTube, Ankit, like how where we can know the entire process, like what they do and what are the steps involved in it?
For Copado, there is a success.copado. There is a website that is available where they have put in all the content.
Okay, Ankit, thanks, Ankit. Yeah.
You can search that success. Copado Academy is a separate academy that they run.
Okay, Ankit. Yeah. Copado in the sense it also works with GitHub, right? If I'm not wrong,
Yes,
like
yeah,
we push the
actually,
code to the.
yes. Copado is like it's a managed package, and then you would have to connect your GitHub with that and do
Okay.
those deployments. Apart from that, Copado, there are various other vendors that are available as well. Like there's GearSet, there's Blossom. Now we have Salesforce DevOps Center as well. So there are tremendous tools that are available in the market. It would be depending
Okay.
upon the client, like what they have that you might have to use in your project.
Okay, okay. If in case if you are doing some any admin changes, like we are changing profiles, profile permission sets, if you are doing, if you are working on the reports and dashboards, in that scenario, we can directly push that using change sets, right? Only in case of development, we might need to use Copado. Am I correct or?
See, the way I look at it is like if you're changing the field, then it's definitely not a change set, but I would still recommend to go with Copado. Because the reason being that like whenever you are doing that, there's a change in your XML, right?
Yeah.
So that change should be there in while you're trying the transfer because in subsequent orgs, consider it like from a scenario like suppose you're in the dev org and From the dev, it would go to staging, and from staging, it would go to your QA. So there would be, and from QA, it would have to go with UAT. So imagine like if it is not committed, how many environments you would have to do that change manually. Consider it,
Yeah.
think it from that angle.
Okay.
So even the smallest change should be through Copado only.
Okay, Ankit, got it. Yeah.
Anybody wants to say anything?
Hello.
Yes, Sachin.
Sir, any opening for has a self-developer fresher vacancies?
How many total years of experience you have?
Sir, I am fresher.
For a fresher, like on LinkedIn, there are few companies that I saw like were still hiring for Salesforce freshers. So that would be my take. What is the problem like here? Like first, are you not getting calls or are you not able to clear?
Sir, because of I'm posting on LinkedIn, also I'm updating, but I'm not call any.
See, two things to that. Uh, I means apart from LinkedIn, also target like from the Naukri.com and other websites as well. You have to search that. And second is your resume. Your resume should I assume like you won't have done any certifications, but you would have had good traded points, or you would have been a ranger or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah. So does your resume reflect those things?
Okay.
See, resume is very important.
Yeah.
There's a video that I created and which is available for mastering means for Salesforce testing guy. So you can
Seven.
go through.
Yes. But I'm searching for the last 6 to 8 months ago, but not find the cell phone jobs. But till now, maybe my friends both are the turn cell phone developer to the another platform.
Okay. See,
But
previous.
sir, yes, my decisions is I'm consistently working as a Salesforce, but I'm not decided to turn another platform.
See, what I understand from you is like you don't want to switch to another platform, and few of your peers with whom you work with have switched their careers to another platform because they were not able to find the jobs in the Salesforce ecosystem. Is that right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So I would say like first, check your means do an analysis of your resume. Did you review your the resume with ChatGPT?
Yes.
Okay, what is ChatGPT's recommendation on your resume? Is it good or it has
No.
suggested
No.
you?
No. I am now use ChatGPT as a resume.
Please do that. And the second
Okay.
pointer from my side is like by whatever you are saying right now, I think there's a improvement that you would need to do on your communication skills as well. Like
Okay.
in most of the MNCs that you would be working in getting interviewed, for them the communication would really matter. For few companies, they might ignore that, and you might get jobs as well. But since in the practical scenario, while you would be working with mostly the foreign clients, it will be
No.
much more smooth for you if you start to improve on your communication skills.
Yeah. Definitely.
And for job opportunities, are you in the? I assume I think I recollect like you are in the WhatsApp group, so there are various opportunities that
Yeah.
we are posting in there.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Yeah, hi Ankit. You have any specific questions, or you want to talk about few of the interview questions? Ankit, you're on mute button. You're saying something. Okay, not a problem.
Yeah, hi Ankit. Sai here.
Yes.
Ankit, how is the job market for Salesforce in US, Ankit? Actually, I'm in US. I came here before 2 months, so I'm looking out for some Salesforce opportunities. I'm not getting any calls literally. So
Okay, you are in the US. So currently, you have 2 years of experience, right?
yeah, I have experience in Java and React JS. Ankit, I have worked as in Java and React before, so I
Not a
just
problem.
changed that. Yeah.
Not a problem. But in Java, like till what level? Like Spring Boot means Spring Boot or Spring MVC. I think Hibernate you would have worked on all those things, right?
Yeah, yes, Ankit, yeah.
Yes, it would be quite easy for you to understand. It is not a challenge at all. So, and talking about like from a job perspective, uh, what you would have to do is like your total experiences means in sales. So you have 2 years of experience, but overall, how much is your experience?
No, overall, it's 4 years of experience. In Salesforce, I have no experience, but I have done some 3 certifications in Salesforce.
Okay. So my take
Yeah.
on that is like, uh, are you like with means from the preparation point of view, are you comfortable like are you able to means my question is like skill wise like you see yourself proficient like if you are to do any task like for a 3 years experience.
Yeah, I can do, Ankit. Like, I'm good with LWC because I had my experience with React JS. Recently, I was working in India as a React JS developer, so I'm very good with React JS. So
LWC
whenever
would be
I
most
was,
smooth.
yeah, LWC has been very easy for me. So yeah, it's almost similar with JavaScript with
Yeah,
React JS,
exactly,
right? So
exactly. It's the same thing. So you're not receiving calls like I assume like your resume is the barrier here. So what you
yeah,
have to do is like you have to re-arrange your resume. Uh, would you mind like if you could share your screen and show me your resume? Or are
yeah.
you
Just give me.
okay?
I think I logged in via my phone. Can I do that here? I don't think so.
Yeah, not a problem. Or you can share it with me offline as well. Not a problem. Because
Yeah,
sometimes actually
thanks. Ankit. Yeah.
your resume is actually for many people like they we don't really understand like resume is like most important. So whatever skill set you have, all should be reflected here. Say you are currently proficient in Java. In Java, it's like much more complex than Salesforce. To be fair,
Yeah. Yes, Ankit. Yeah. Oh, 1 second. I'm just sharing my resume to you.
okay. So now I was saying your resume should be like you should your resume should is focus on the key areas first. Like your skill set should come first and not your education. Because the company that you would be hiring that would be hiring you would be based on your skills, not because you had a degree in bachelor's degree in computer science or say MCA or BC or anything like that, right?
Yeah.
And then your key participation. Like see, in Hyderabad, like Salesforce community is pretty much very much active. So going to those meetups would definitely help you network and get jobs.
But I'm currently in US, Ankit. So
Even in so one second, are you are currently in US, but you want job in India, or you
no, no,
want
no. I'm looking.
you're talking about job opportunities in the US from the US perspective, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes,
So
Ankit.
yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
correct. Yeah.
okay, 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 okay. So in US, like I assume you would be on H1B.
Yeah, exactly, Ankit. Yeah.
Okay. So there are some challenges around that because many of the companies like they are not considering H1Bs for many openings. So I know about that, those the things that are happening in. So my take on that would be still like few companies are there in like it's dice.com for few product based companies, not consultancies. I saw openings for and